What's up YouTube, Johnny Butters here back with another video, and today we're talking C-Log 2 in the Canon R6. Yeah, let's talk about it. Now, to access C-Log 2, it's not going to be in your typical area. So we turn on the camera, we're going to go to our menu. It's not going to be in the third tab like you would think. No, they didn't want to put it there because they don't want you knowing this camera has C-Log 2. So what you might not be aware of is actually in tab 2. So if you go to tab 2, it's this setting right here. Now it's going to say hdrpq, but don't worry about that. They don't. I might have to delete this video. They don't want you to know it's in the camera. So you go to this setting, you turn it on, and you got basically C-Log 2. Let me explain hdrpq, all jokes aside. I had to clickbait a little bit, but trust me, your boy will deliver. Now, the thing about hdrpq is it has a different curve and supposedly more color information. It treats color differently. It's not a bad thing. You just have to get used to it, treat it differently. But here's the thing. There is a lot more information in the shadow area. If you want to see a bunch of sample footage, I will put a little link right here. It's also in the description below. It looks so freaking good. Now, coming from a person who shoots a camera that shoots RAW, the C200, I am used to getting a lot of information in the shadows. So when I got this camera, I didn't realize it at first, but I was like, yo, why is C-Log 3 crushing the shadows? Like, there's just not much information there. Now, in this sample shot right here, you can see how much better the hdrpq actually is versus the C-Log 3. There's a lot more color and information in the shadow area. It's also a little bit cleaner too, is something I noticed. This is why, by the way, they tell you to overexpose on the C-Log 3 one stop, because there's a lot of room, a lot of play, a lot of freedom with the highlights, but it's also to kind of recover detail in the shadow area because there's really not much there. Just to give you another example of the difference, I went out and shot some night shots. So I'm at the sunset, I'm getting it. There's a cool little Jeep. I tried to get a little shot of it. Purposely exposed for the highlights in the sunset. And as you can see, there's like no detail in the Jeep. There's a little detail on the tire, but that's about it. If I was shooting hdrpq, I could have had all that information and got a much more dynamic HDR-ish looking shot. By the way, my LUT pack went beautifully on the hdrpq footage. Support your boy, link in the description below. So what are the downsides? Well, there's a few. There is not much leeway in the highlight area. The roll-off is not as good as C-Log 3. When I was out shooting this test footage, again, link right here or in the description below, I was underexposing, sometimes even a full stop. There's an area by the clubhouse with white walls. The sun just hits it pretty much all day. So I underexposed with the iguana shot. I'll post it right here. And it's super clean. You can recover so much of the shadow area. So it's almost like just expose regularly. I was exposing just in the middle and again, one stop under. And my highlights are perfectly fine for 99% of the shots. I was struggling a little bit because the sun was going in and out. So I was constantly turning the ND, trying to make sure. And then the other problem too is when you underexpose, if you're trying to get a low shot like of an iguana or a bird or whatever, it can be kind of hard to see your exposure in the bright sunny day. So that's one downside. You could turn off the brightness, you could use the EVF, but in some circumstances I couldn't. I was trying to get to the eye level of the iguana and I'm like, I can't see my exposure because I'm underexposing. I'm trying to protect the highlights. So it can be a little tedious sometimes, but I think the results are really cool. They're really interesting, something different. And it's in this little tiny little camera that costs $2,400. You can shoot a really powerful image to an SD card. Now, when it comes to importing the footage and exporting, treat it just like C-Log3. The only difference is you are going to change the color space to, I believe it's BT 2048. I'll put it on the screen right now. And then when you export, you basically change it to Rec 709. So you're exporting it to an SDR image. And I will link below a conversion LUT, because the thing about hdrpq, it does handle color a little bit differently. So the conversion LUT will kind of make it look more to what you're used to from C-Log3 in terms of color. Anyway, so that about does it. Hope you enjoyed the video. My apologies for the clickbait, but I'm pretty sure I delivered and made you a bit curious, like, let me check this out. And please check it out and let me know what your thoughts are below. Comment, like, share, support your boy. We are trying to get monetized. We're going to be uploading a lot of videos, so make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.